Hello friends, I'm here with Dusty to give you the top 5 things to think about or tips if you are a beginner and you're starting to ride. So we have a horse, it's ready, it's saddled, everything is taken care of. So the first thing we need to think about, the first tip is a good way to get up on the horse. And I don't mean just crawl up there any way you can. I do it in a way that we do it together with the horse where he is with me. So the first part is I'm standing here, so I'm kind of rocking him a little bit back and forth. You see he spread his back legs, now he spread his front legs. And then I put my foot into the stirrup. I take a hold of the rein. I can take both reins like this and also holding the mane here. Take hold of it, look at him and see what frame of mind is he, what kind of mindset does he have. That looks good, okay. Then I'll bounce up and stand like this and still kind of checking, is he okay for me to ride? Is he with me here? And then I can take my leg over, sit down, get my foot in the stirrup, relax. So that's kind of tip number 1, the first thing to think about, how to get on the horse. And we can actually take getting off as well since we're doing this. And you just do everything in reverse. You kind of take it, lift up so he's aware, he's ready. You take a hold of the mane and the rein here. You take one foot out and then you switch over, stand, and then you go down and do this. And you do it that way if you have a Western saddle, because you don't want to get caught on the horn here with your jacket or your shirt or so. If you have an English type saddle, then it's perfectly okay to take one foot out first, swing your leg over, stand, and then you can lay down or lean in, take the other foot out and just jump down or glide down. You don't have to stand in the stirrup, but you do have to do it in a Western saddle. But don't be alarmed, because the saddle is broad enough to distribute the weight across the back. So that was tip number 1, thing number 1 to think about. So tip number 2, and probably the most important things, especially if you're a beginner or if you're out riding, you go on a vacation and there's this rental horses, you rent a horse for a day and you ride out together with others. The first thing we need to take care of up here, which is tip number 2, is safety. And safety you get by control, because you can't get it by distance, taking distance to the horse. So safety we need in control, and the way we do that is by having an easy bend in the neck. So here he is bending his neck very easily like this, and it needs to be this easy and very light, and preferably that he can stand still, because the next part of control is that you take this bend like this, and then you just lift it and actually control the hind end around like this without having to do anything in the saddle. So tip number 2, which is very important, is to have control over the horse, because if he starts running too fast for you, you can just take the rein and you can start bending the neck, and then what's happening is that he will just go around in a circle like this. And you can see crossing his hind legs, they will cross in front of each other, and that takes the power away from the horse, and that's where he will stop running and then start standing still and can relax, and you can then get off the horse. So that's tip number 2, getting control of the bend of the horse. So tip number 3, the third thing we need to think about and be able to do and take care of, is forwards and backwards. So we will start with backwards actually. So what you do, no matter the type of bridle or reins you have, what I would say is that you lift up first to say to the horse, hey, pay attention, something is happening. And then you can take both reins like this, separate them so you have a rein in each hand, and then you just start to pull your elbows back like this. And then if he's a very well-educated horse like Dusty, he would easily go backwards. Okay, so with Dusty, I basically just have to lift up, and I can just lift up a little bit more and he will back up. But that's because he's very well educated, not all horses are like that. But hopefully, since you're a beginner, you will get on this type of horse first, because it's way more safe and it's way more fun, and you will learn tons more than if you get on a horse that isn't that well educated. The next thing is then going forward. And we want to also controlling that somehow, because we don't want a horse to just go where he wants and just follow others. So the way I do it is that I'm sitting relaxed now in a neutral position. Then I kind of raise up my energy, raise up my upper body, and kind of get a little bit of active. I'm not sitting and doing a lot of stuff. I'm just a little active. And then I'm hugging like this. I'm hugging my horse with both my legs. So if you look at my leg here and you look at my feet, so what I do is I turn my toes out like this, because that tense up, that flexes the muscles in your lower leg, in your calves, and then I just hug my horse like this. Instead of, you see a lot of times in Western movies or in movies with horses, they sit and kick their horse and do a lot of yee-haw to go there. We don't have to do that. We can just hug the horse forward. That's what I do, and that's what I teach my horses to do. And that's a lot more gentle and polite way to do it. And then we can say, oh no, it goes too fast, lifting up, and then we take the reins and then we ask him to back up like this. And then we have a lot more control, but we also can start to have fun. We can start to go out and explore some more. And then we're ready for the next tip. So the next tip, the next thing to think about and what to do as a beginner, we also need to be able to steer our horse around, especially if we are in an arena like this. Otherwise the horse just goes where he wants to go. And if we're riding out somewhere with other horses in nature, well, a lot of stuff can happen. So we need to be able to have control, but also to steer. And there are several ways to steer, and we'll just take the easiest one, and that is to guide the front end. So first I'll do it towards you. So what I do is that I'm lifting up, and then I take just one of the reins, not two, but just one. And I kind of guide, you see his nose goes towards you. That's what I do here. And then I basically just hug my horse, and can you see? He just follows where his nose is going. That is what we need, nothing more. And then I do it on the other side. You see, I guide his nose that way, and then I just hug my horse with my legs, and we can go that way. And then if I want to go like a little broader, I don't guide the nose, I'll just go there. But then if I go to turn like quickly, I'll just guide my horse's nose there, and then he turns a little bit quicker. That's one way to do it. That's the easiest way to do it. Another thing that is good to be able to do is to move the butt away. And I've already shown you, and that is where you kind of take one rein and you just bend the neck a lot. And then you can hug your horse's body with your legs, and then you can see he moves predominantly, he moves his back legs away. And that is really, really good to be able to do, because sometimes you're in a kind of a tight spot and you need to move your horse, but you can't do this riding around. So you need to kind of move the butt away like this. And then you are turning facing another direction. And that is tip number 4, to be able to steer. And then we can just go out, we can have fun. I hug my horse forward, and then I say, oh, like, look over there, that looks fun. Or, oh, look at that guy, look at that horse over there, that looks fun. And then we can have a lot of fun riding around, hugging our horse and guiding the nose around. That is tip number 4. So go out and do that. Now, the last tip. The last tip that I want you, as a beginner, or if you're a more advanced rider as well, but as a beginner, which is really important, is to look up, enjoy, relax, have fun while riding. So you're not looking down at the horse, wondering if the ears fall off or if he changes color or whatever. Like, look up, look out, steer your horse's nose around, hug your horses forward, look out there, like out over there, there are cows, and down there, let's go down here and see, oh, there are other horses there, and we can go around and we can have fun while riding. Instead of it, we are on the riding arena and we need to be very serious and do it like this, and we look down and everything is concentrated and very serious. And that's not very fun for us, and therefore it's usually not very fun for the horses. But going out, looking around, enjoying and sitting up here and relaxing, that makes it a lot more fun for us and a lot more comfortable and fun for the horse. So that's the last tip. Relax, enjoy. It doesn't have to be speed and out there and concentrated and super perfect. It's just hug your horse forward, guide your horse's nose around, doing stuff together, looking at the scenery, looking at nature. And that is part of being with horses also. The horse is the nature in its finest form. So of course we want to look at it, but when we're up here, it's not that pretty. It's a lot more pretty to look out there. So do that instead and have fun while riding. So these were my top 5 tips or things to think about as a beginner while riding. Mounting, safety first, forwards and backwards, steering, guiding the nose, hugging your horse, and then relax and enjoy. So hopefully you liked it. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell icon so you don't miss the next videos. And if you want to learn more about riding or teaching your horse and getting good at it, I have an online education that you can attend to. So just click the link in the description and see if it's something for you. And I'll hopefully see you on